Eric and Ruth Brown share their home with their 3 children. Ruth homeschools their 2 oldest children, Brennan and Abby, and takes care of their youngest child, Pearl, along with nurses. As many of you know, having a disabled child can present difficult challenges to any family. But the Browns are remarkably blessed. When you walk in their home, you can instantly tell that it is a place filled of joy, love, and understanding. Photos line the wall telling the story of God's grace, that He cares about our suffering, and that He is moving on our behalf even when we can't see it.
Our days start at 7 in the morning, and Pearl has a breathing treatment that takes about an hour to help her lungs stay healthy. She has breakfast. The older kids get up, I give them breakfast. I homeschool them during the week. 3 days a week we have a nurse who comes to help take care of Pearl so that I can run errands and take care of Brennan and Abby without constantly running back and forth to Pearl.
And with the house this size, there is no getting away from each other. So yeah, we're on top of each other, but it's okay. There's a lot of merit to that. It's not something we would have chosen, but yeah, there's a lot of good that comes from it.
Pearl just got this thing called the vest. It shakes her super fast, and she really likes it. The vest is supposed to, I think it's supposed to shake her, loosening all the snot and slobber and stuff in her throat. And then there's this thing called a suction machine. We use it to, it sucks up all of the snot and slobber. And so it helps her breathe better. Last time Pearl was in the hospital, me and Abby, we kind of just started fighting, and so Dad said, if we're going to be a family, then we need to stick together, and so we tried harder, and so we stopped arguing every single second, and it helped us. Yeah. And yeah, it's helped us a lot.
So I think we've all learned conflict resolution and not to get upset about things of little consequence.
Knowing at the beginning that oftentimes having a kid with a disability can tear families apart. The little things seem like bigger things when it comes between a marriage. And so knowing that on the front end and being proactive to not let it turn into a big thing, but say, look, it's been a really hard day. We're both feeling overwhelmed. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's just a hard day. And so you make the choice to give each other more grace, to give each other more space for whatever reaction you need to have. And to let it be a point to talk about and to draw you closer together instead of push you further apart. And then the same thing with the older kids. We can't get out to let them have lots of friends and lots of play dates. They are not in a traditional school classroom. They really do need to be each other's best friend. And so when they start to bicker, a lot of times just a quick reminder of, hey guys, it's been a hard week and you're not making it any easier on yourself or your brother and your sister in how you're responding. So can you make a different choice? Can you try to make things easier? Can you try to show the love that we all know that you feel?
Being told at 20 weeks that we will likely have no time with Pearl, and if there's any time, it'll be a very short time. Having already been giving that tremendously bad news everything else is a step up from that. So there's a lot of gratitude in the mix for things that maybe otherwise we wouldn't be so thankful for.
We probably have more Legos than most kids. I like to go to work with my dad. Sometimes I get paid $5 each time I go to work with him, even if I'm hardly doing anything.
I don't feel like a leader most of the time. I feel more like a stumbler most of the time. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I feel like a leader. I know that I've been given that task, but I'm clueless about most of how to move forward. And at the same time, I'm completely confident that if I am weak and opt to not be strong, that God moves in incredible ways to equip all of us, I would say. Yeah, my leadership looks a lot like me being like, look at that guy. Don't look at me. I don't know what to do right now, but I know that God does. I had a pastor years ago who would always speak that his approach to leadership was come with me as I go to the cross. And I think that's, in a nutshell, the only thing I can really bring to the table.
He's good at being a dad. He's awesome at making jokes.
He's good at drawing.
He's pretty cool.
Even when Brennan and Abby bicker and fight like kids do, he very rarely just addresses their actions, but draws their attention to their hearts. And why are you trying to make your sister feel bad about herself? Instead of, why are you calling your sister mean names? And so I love that his brain is wired to look more at the root, at the heart, at the thoughts and the feelings, where my inclination is just to see what's so boldly in front of me.
Mom's real good at taking care of Pearl.
Mom's good at reading.
Really good at it. Mom's good at
Taking care of the family.
She's incredible. She's great. I am more in awe of the way she shepherds these three kids. It would be really offensive to her, I'm sure, to say that she does it tirelessly, because that is not the case. But she does it relentlessly, lays her life down over and over and over and over again. Really long nights with Pearl, really long hospital visits. God has given us enough, but she does a lot with very few resources. We got a small budget, small house with nowhere to put anything. But she does much with very little and does not complain. Never hear her complain.
She's good at gardening. real good at that. She's
Good at keeping us healthy.
She's it's another thing. Abby, do you have any other ideas? You have like all the ideas.
I wonder about the future. It's really hard to make plans for the future. Both at the very beginning with Pearl, through the second half of our pregnancy, right when she was born, and then there's been several times when she was sick enough where she was in intensive care for a week or two, where you're just never sure where her health is headed, and how to look forward to or plan the future. Before she was born, we picked out a spot where she might be buried if she were to pass as soon as she was born. Obviously, thankfully, we have not used that spot. But you have to have plans for lots of different things. And so I think that it's just been made more clear to us that all the plans that we make, we should hold loosely anyway, whether or not you have a Pearl in your life.
I would say that what goes on in our house, the amount of effort that it takes to keep the good ship Brown afloat, it's huge, and it's really, really hard. But it really is beautiful, and it's beautiful to us, and it really seems beautiful to anyone who's willing to step inside of our house and help and come along with us as well.
What a beautiful story. You know, when the WHCN crew and I met the Browns, we could tell that they were blessed. And yet we also recognized that they were dealing with a set of circumstances that we really couldn't imagine. Since we shot this story, those in the Middle Tennessee community have rallied together to raise money to update and renovate the Browns' home free of charge. See, God never leaves us in our suffering. He's present, and He's working to make a way even when we can't tell that He's working right now. If you're in a situation like the Browns where you're suffering, I want you to know that you can trust the name of Jesus Christ. His plan is perfect, and it will come to fruition in your life. Thank you for watching, Bridges. May you be blessed. Goodbye.